was the first club that you could really look upon as defining a particular decade or era. In the 60s it was the Beatles, in the 70s it was Studio 54.
I like it because it's really the nightclub of the future. It's a kind of culmination of a sort of nightclub that's been arriving gradually for the last 10 years.
I like the atmosphere of Studio 54. I've been to a lot of discotheques and I don't like them.
What's the difference?
All around the world I've been. I don't know, the feeling. I mean, the excitement of the props coming down and the balcony. It's just exciting, honestly.
When you hear the name Studio 54, what does that do?
I'm ready to have a good time.
There's Steve Rubell, the owner.
Hi,
Studio 54, the one we have to thank for all these fabulous parties.
How you doing?
Well, how do you do it, Steve? I mean, night after night, Andy Warhol, Bella Abzug, Shirley MacLaine. Every time I come in here, there's Warren Beatty or some stars. How have you done it?
You do it.
He never got used to it. I mean, celebrities would just floor him, you know. But he was just having such a good time, you know. And I think he had to take Quaaludes just to relax. And sometimes he would take too many, you know, because he'd be so excited. He'd be talking to me and spitting in my face at the same time.
People take good care of you here?
Yes, Steve's very nice.
What's Stevie like?
He's one of my favorite people because he's genuine and for real and honest. And that's what I like in people.
Steve Rubell was introduced to the whole sort of Warhol-Holston crowd by a PR woman called Carmen D'Alicio, but he actually became very friendly with Andy Warhol and Holston and Bianca Jagger and Liza Minnelli. That was his core group of famous friends. People didn't go with their bodyguards. People didn't sort of stand in corners, famous people, and just watch. They participated. Truman Capote was up in the DJ booth with Michael Jackson.
Most of the stars who come here don't come here for attention. They come here to dance. They come here to have fun. One night Michael was here and Liza were here and they were dancing. There was no photographers here. They didn't come here and they were just dancing. And it was like a treat that people would have paid $100 a ticket for, I think, if they paid just to watch. We were all dancing together.
That's
right. And nobody cared. And they just come here to have a good time, you know.
In the beginning, Andy was going there with an entourage of people around him, like a wall of a defense, you know, to keep him distanced from me because he was terrifically shy. And he went to wanting to go out by himself and dancing by himself. Andy loved the art sales possibilities of an evening at Studio 54. He would come home some nights and cop thousands and thousands of dollars worth of portrait commissions.
I actually always liked the busboys and the waiters. I always liked the help. They're always very cute and young and so eager to please.
Busboys were propositioned a lot, you know, because we were like the most vulnerable employee. Just another, you know, pretty boy that somebody rich or powerful had to have, you know, in their collection or whatever. I was propositioned for sex by a famous designer, famous for boxer shorts and other things like that. It was a one-time deal.
How much did he pay you?
$300. Yeah.
So what can you get for 300?
I guess prostitutes sometimes call it around the world.
What's that?
Around the world is the full works. I was around the world with Freddie Mercury, Brett Davis from the Midnight Express.
What was your relationship to Rock Hudson?
I met Rock Hudson in studio through Steve one night, and we hung out a couple of times. You know, we dosed a little bit. He was quite a man. You know, Andy Warhol was here practically every night. You know. He kind of freaked me out a little bit because I had found out that he wore wigs, and I was like, you know, that sort of threw me off.
This era came to an abrupt end on a cold December morning in 1978 when 30 FBI and tax officials raided the club. They apprehended Ian Schrager for possession of cocaine and seized bin liners full of cash stashed in wall cavities.
Based on, well, you know what all the warrants say. The warrants say we've received a tip or an information and belief the place is making a lot of money. Well, sure, they're making a lot of money and they're reporting a lot of taxes.